Okay, it's time to change the differential fluid in the 2016 Volkswagen Golf GTI 2.0 liter turbo. I've got a OBD11 scan diagnostic reader, and I'm going to plug that in. I've run the engine, got it warmed up. I want to make sure the temperature on the differential is warm enough, so I'll run through some of the menu systems in this diagnostic tool, and we'll choose temperature, put a couple different temperatures up on here just to see what it comes up with. And you can see that it's at a normal operating temperature, which is where you want this to be before the differential fluid is changed. So just driving it around will help if you don't have a scanner tool. I have the vehicle up on jack stands, and I want to keep it level when changing the differential fluid. I bought this nice little fill kit online, and it comes with a shut off. So we're going to throw the hose down the back behind the turbo, and you can see underneath the fill plug and the drain plug here. Get the hose close to there. This is the drain plug located here. Kind of hard to see. I'll move back a little bit so you can see the location. Here's the oil drain plug, so it's directly behind and off to the side of the oil drain plug, right up in between. The fill plug is located up here. You can see the plug up here, and it's easier to reach. If you go around the exhaust, you can see it a little bit better back in there, and that's how we'll reach it to loosen it. We're going to start out using an 8mm hex socket, and we'll loosen the fill plug first. You want to make sure that you can reach the fill plug before draining your fluid. Once I get the plug loosened up with the ratchet, I can reach my fingers up in and loosen it the rest of the way, and shouldn't be any fluid coming out of there, so we're good for now. Now that we've got the fill plug out, we can remove the drain plug using the same 8mm hex wrench. Before we do that, I'm going to take a little bit of aluminum foil, and the reason I'm doing this, I'm going to wrap it around here, and it's going to act as a funnel to funnel the fluid down into my drain pan. Just a little trick to hopefully help keep things a little neater. There's really no natural way for it to flow. It's just going to go all over the underside of the car. So this will help funnel it into the drain pan. And we'll just let that drain all the way out. Once it stops draining, I got a new drain plug. We're going to rub some differential fluid around the O-ring, and we'll put the new O-ring back in. Get it started by hand so we make sure that we don't cross thread it, and hand tighten it all the way. Then I'm going to use a torque wrench, and it's set to 22 foot-pounds of torque, and we'll crank that down to the specified torque for this drain plug. Wait for the click. And that'll do it. So I've got my differential fluid here. Ordered this online. It came with a really nice hose that screws on the top of the bottle, and the hose has a shut-off valve on it that allows me to turn it off once it gets full. So I'm going to start out by turning the valve to the on position and start the fluid flowing down. And we'll take a look down in the bottom, and you can see I've got the hose inside the fill port, and we just keep filling it until it starts to come out the hole, and then we can turn the shut off on the bottle and pull the hose out, and that is the recommended fill level for this differential. Get the hose out of the way, and I can get my new cap, put a little bit of fluid around the O-ring, clean up the area a little bit, and then I'll put the fill plug in by hand. Get that tightened down as tight as I can by hand. And then I'll use the 8mm hex socket and tighten it down to 22 foot-pounds of torque, and that's how you change the differential fluid in a 2016 Golf GTI. I'm How To Bob. Thanks for watching.